Hi, I'm Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy segment show. Also today in this segment, I'm at the Museum of the High Plains in McCook, Nebraska. The Museum of the High Plains is located on 423 North Avenue in McCook, Nebraska. And also, it is open if you check the web for the hours. Also, the museum is housed in the Carnegie Library, built in 1907, but the library portion is in that part. And also, it is a Spanish colonial revival style library built by Willis Marion, which housed a library till 1969, and today it houses the Museum of the High Plains as well. Next door to the library is an additional building connected with a walkway to the library. The museum even features artifacts such as World War II Air Base, German POW camp, antique cars and appliances, general store, old-time pharmacy, early maps of the West, American Indian artifacts, and displays on 3 Nebraska governors, and also it even features a few railroad items. And inside the building you will find some railroad displays, including a model railroad. And also outside the building you'll find a caboose that served the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad, and Burlington Northern, which it was part of the merger to form the railroad. Oh, and by the way, everybody, admission to the museum is free as well. Okay, I'm going to show you all the train exhibits they have back here, and I'll get behind the camera and show you all around, so here we go. Okay, so here we go inside. So here's what looks like a replica of a modern day cross signal light. And here's a mannequin of a conductor. And this looks like a 260-1091. Here's some information about train wreck flood control in the Republican Valley. McCook Railroad grow together. I think this is a TV to show some history. Look at all this in this case. That's a Line L model, the Pioneer Zephyr, which is at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago, Illinois. Some conductor's hats and flagman, trainman, agent, some lanterns. And look at that painting on the wall up there. And that is the Mark Twain Zephyr, which did come through here before, and also it's at the Wisconsin Great Northern Railroad in Trigo, Wisconsin. And here's successful Zephyr, the Burlington Zephyr. And here's an old-fashioned telephone thing. Look at these on the wall. That's how they did it back in the day. Look at these old pictures. This card has, this looks like the calendar of 1964. Almost looks like the Galesburg one. And pretty cool how they have all this. That's an old-fashioned coupling device right there. And also here's some trunks on the luggage cart and a map. This mannequin of a lady waiting for a train. Potbelly stove, which was used in a caboose years ago. And a clock that was used here in McCook in the station. And scale, and pretty cool, much to see in here. Okay, I'm going to show you all the model railroad display they have in here. And this mannequin is looking like he's holding the door. And it says engineer uniform. Elmer Olson of McCook wore this engineer's uniform during the 1940s and 1950s. So anyways, I'm going to show you all around, and I'll get behind the camera, and here we go. Okay, here we enter So you can see this old toy train set, and look at these dolls right here. Also, this is an HO scale model railroad. Also, in that case right there is a, looks like Lionel to me, but here's more of the model railroad. Isn't this well detailed or what? Looks like it's been modeled after a Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy railroad, or probably it might have been modeled after some railroad around Colorado or something. Yeah, there's also a schoolhouse back here, as you can tell. And looks like troops or den, whatever. And anyway, let's look at the model railroad some more. Look at that trestle bridge, well detailed. Yeah, I like how well detailed they have this. Also, I am afraid I can't run the model railroad because right when I came in here during the time I was making this video, one of the trains are derailed, so it won't be able to go, unfortunately. So, but yeah, other than that, whoever built this did a wonderful, handy job. What you see right behind me is Burlington Northern 10185. Burlington Northern 10185 was built by the International Car Company in Kenton, Ohio in 1964 and is a wide vision caboose. This caboose was originally used on the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad many years ago, and originally it was numbered 13599 and was used on the back of freight trains as the train crew's office. Then in 1970, the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy, along with the Great Northern, Northern Pacific, and Spokane, Portland, and Seattle merged together to create the Burlington Northern Railroad, and this caboose was relettered for Burlington Northern and was renumbered 10185. Then later on, this caboose was retired and was put right here in this spot, displayed at the Museum of the High Plains in McCook, Nebraska, where it is seen today. Okay, you can see behind me, this is a railroad signal light that was used on railroad main lines all those years ago. And I would say this was used by the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad many years ago, till would eventually end up here at the Museum of the High Plains in McCook, Nebraska, where it is today. Okay, you can see right here's this switch stand, and you can see it's like a pump, like you would pump water, and it would lock in place when you put it down, pull it up, and you would turn the switch. But looks like they have it locked in place. And I believe it was used by the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad all those years ago, till being here at the Museum of the High Plains in McCook, Nebraska, where it is today. Okay, you can see this speeder right here was built by the Fairmount Motor Car Company of Fairmount, Minnesota, and indeed it is. and I believe it was used by the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy Railroad for maintenance use. And this is what replaced the handcars back then, and until the maintenance on the railroad line became more modern than this, by replacing them with something else. And now here this is at the Museum of the High Plains in McCook, Nebraska, where it is today. Well, I hope you all enjoyed learning about trains with me today in Matthew Lapp Train Guy segment show. Also, I hope to see you all again in the next segment. And if you didn't subscribe to my channel yet, the subscribe button is just down below the video screen. Also, if you didn't give the Facebook page a like yet, here's where you'll want to go. And also, if you didn't give the Instagram page a follow yet, here's where you'll want to go as well. And also, be sure to get your merch at teesprings.com. Link is in the description box below, along with the Facebook and Instagram pages. And remember to subscribe to the Train Guy. So this is Matthew Lapp, host of Matthew Lapp Train Guy segment show. Sign out until next time. All aboard.